Once again, it's my pleasure to introduce Sister Diane Guerette, who celebrated her 60th Jubilee as a Daughter of Wisdom on February 2nd, 2022. Diane's experience of divine wisdom has been ongoing and cherished throughout her life as a vowed religious. She has been in ministries of math education in high school and community college, and has also served as counselor for family services and for Naugatuck Valley Community College in Waterbury, Connecticut. She has been involved in youth groups and folk groups in different parishes. Her ministries have taken her to New York, Maine, and Connecticut, and she enjoyed each of these experiences while she was living it, until she was ready to move on when wisdom called her to serve elsewhere. Retired now from active ministry, Sister Diane volunteers in hospice, using her lifelong skills, as well as her training in energy healing, to comfort the patients she visits weekly. She also organizes the DW Sojourners Annual Gathering. And Sister Diane's greatest joy is helping spread wisdom spirituality. She does this as a team member with Associates of Wisdom for creating material for wisdom circles, prayer groups, and being a frequent presenter here on Wisdom Conversations. Sister Diane also writes reflections for the Fire in Our Hearts website. We warmly welcome you this morning, Diane.
Thank you, Anne. And good morning, everybody. The topic this time is, it's personal. And then Pope Francis's quote, "Our care for the earth is the same as our care for one another." From Sirach, she, wisdom, is God's word, a fountain of understanding. Her ways are timeless, linking each to all and all to one. In our oneness with all of creation, we are of the same stuff as of God, the energy of God, who is love energy. It gives life to all that is, people and nature alike. We share that life-giving force, energy, and know we are all one with God as creator. We have a personal relationship with all that exists because God, Godness, makes it so. I'm going to be using the word Godness to represent God in some cases, because for me, it encompasses all the ideas that we have of God in the past. So Godness to me is like the summation and beyond. God has many faces. From our own life experience, wisdom comes to us from our experience. We each have evolved a face for our God, Godness. It is personal, and it is fashioned and derived from our relationship with our God, Godness. What about the face of those Pope Francis invites us to care for? What about caring for our earth? I realize I am limited in the ways I am able to personally confront and do something about the needs of those with whom I share oneness and energy. But it helps me to treat each person I meet, stranger or friend, as having the face of God, and who represent the multitudes who are in the same situation. And so, out of the masses of the poor, people, and all of creation, If I put a face on each, I am more able to care, love, and to pray for all those with whom I want to remember my oneness. It is the same mindset as when I put a face on God, Godness for myself, and it is personal to each one I meet. I try to be a face of God for them, for each one I meet. God's love energy. It helps to borrow the face of a person I actually meet and to have that face represent the faceless and nameless ones throughout the world who are the poor and marginalized in body, mind, or spirit, including that of ourselves. I borrow the face of the hospice patient with advanced dementia whom I visit weekly, for all those who are facing death and are isolated because of illness, physical, mental, spiritual. She is the face of the lonely, the alone. She is the face of God and the representation of a whole sector of creation. It is personal. I can borrow the face of the tired-looking older woman who is cashing out my purchases on any given day. I can send her healing and loving energy, and through her face, embrace all those older women struggling in the world in war, poverty, abuse, migration from the only home they know with their families and maybe a few belongings, leaving their lives behind. I can thank God for the face of the young child in the park, playing kickball with older siblings, yelling and running wildly for the sheer joy of it. I want to borrow his face and internalize it for those times when I cannot feel the joy of being alive. Love energy has a face. I can be the face for those others also who I meet as strangers, in the news, as neighbors, as family, as friends. It is a personal, challenging commitment to care for one another and the earth. And so too with nature. I can use the face of my plant that I named Buddy to represent the plants and trees and forests everywhere that are so important to our Earth's survival and are in danger of going extinct because of misuse and violence to their well-being. The mother bear with her 3 infant cubs that roam around our village looking for food and causing the residents here to stay indoors in fear of her, can be the face of wild animals facing starvation and annihilation from the shrinking of their habitats because of our encroachment and misuse of their resources. And so, out of the masses of the poor, people, and all of creation, if I can put a face on them and respond personally in wisdom's way, I am more able to send out healing energy and love and prayer to all those with whom I want to remember my oneness. We are all in the same energy stuff of God, Godness, and it is personal. Is this enough to actually care for others and for the earth and to love them? I have to believe it is a beginning. Do I believe this makes enough of a difference? Not always. I can only say, Wisdom God, I do believe. Help my unbelief and make it personal. In your own environment and within your own lifestyle, are you able to pick out a person or member of nature and borrow that face to represent a host of others with whom you are one? How can you unite yourself with them and with God, Godness, with whom we share our energy, our life stuff that makes us all one?